Good morning, everyone. So, today in our lab session, we'll be doing a very interesting topic which interests most of the students, and students are eager to do it, and that's group discussion. Please understand here, we are not just talking about the activity of doing group discussion, but we are going to understand group discussion from the recruitment point of view. Remember, it is a part of technical communication, and recruitment is also one kind of technical event that takes place, right? You have to go through a written test, then a group discussion, then a personal interview, etc. So today's our topic is group discussion. Group discussion is actually a well formulated tool for judging the candidates, or judging the people who are going to give the interview. The interviewer has this tool to judge the interviewee, right? Why group discussion is something which is very interesting, and yet it is also a tool for evaluation, because it will judge a person's skills, not only the person's individual skills, but also the person's uh, team skills. So how do you behave in a team? How do you work with the team? Do you have leadership qualities or not? How do I check on such things? I can have a check on such things with the help of this nice tool called group discussion. Moreover, group discussions are meant for smooth flow of information. The information that flows should be smooth. It should have a very nice transition from one part to the other. So, if you say, what is group discussion? Now, if you see, it is made up of two words, group and discussion. So, what is a group? Here, by a group, we mean a collection of individuals who interact with each other on a regular or frequent basis. Or this group of individual could be people who aim for a common set of goals, right? When we talk of the recruitment process, the common goal over there would be getting a job. The common goal over there for end number of people who are a part of group discussion, it would be achieving a job. And discussion is actually basically the process of exchanging ideas and information in a face to face situation. In a face to face situation, group discussions till now have been taken in face to face. Why? Remember, they're not going to only see your language, but they are also going to see your body language. They're not only going to see your words, verbal, they're also going to see your words, non-verbal. Right? It's, as I said, unit one is going to tag along everywhere. That's the foundation on which the whole things or whole building has been built upon, right? So you cannot just have only verbal, but it has to be a perfect balance between, or not if it is not perfect, it is fine, but a balance between the verbal and the non-verbal. So that's why group discussions most of the time are face to face. Now it could be from screen to screen as well. The virtual part would also work. Now, what could be the end goal of a group discussion? The goal of doing a group discussion would be different based on what you are trying to discuss. If you are taking the idea of recruitment over here, if you are taking the idea of recruitment over here, it actually is trying to come to terms so that an action can be taken. You come to an agreement that, okay, you believe that you are the correct candidate. The interviewer also believes, yes, he is the correct candidate. You come to an agreement, and then there is an action that is followed. That is, you are recruited, right? Sometimes group discussions are important parts for increasing your knowledge. When you discuss with somebody, you realize, okay, yes, this I never thought of, or this is the idea I never had. Then sometimes group discussions may also lead to, it's not necessary that it will always lead to agreement. It may also lead to disagreement. It may also lead to disagreement. And in that case, what will happen is you again have to go and search for a resolution or a solution, right? So these are the different goals or end products of group discussion. What is the significance of group discussion? So the first significant is it helps evaluate whether a candidate is the right fit for the organization or not. Next, it will help assess a participant perform under different situations in a group. Now, why they are saying a different situations? Remember, every time you are group discussing or you are a part of the group does not mean that the entire group is going in one direction. The thinking patterns of the group may differ. Maybe each member is going in his own direction and each member thinks that they are correct. How do you come to a point? Remember, it's a group discussion, not a debate. Remember, it's a group discussion, not a debate. There's a very thin line of difference between group discussion and debate. In debate, you take sides, you pick sides. You stand on one side and the other person stands on the other side. Whereas in group discussion, you discuss as a part of a group. You give your opinion. You're not supposed to fight over the topic, but you're supposed to say that, in my opinion, or as I look to the problem, this is what I see. Right? So maybe if the group is in different directions, how would you behave? Every time you might not be comfortable with the members of the group. Every time it's not necessary that the topic which is given to you is comfortable. So how do you particularly perform and behave under different situations? A group discussion helps to assess that. It also helps to judge how one conceptualizes and maneuvers his ideas through the discussion. So how do you, let's say, uh, sometimes it's not about the idea, but it's always about how the idea is presented. Okay. Sometimes you feel I even had a similar kind of idea. Why did his idea get approved and not mine? Why did his idea get approved and not mine? It's how you present it. How you make a presentation of the idea that you have would also lay an impact. So how do you conceptualize the problem in your mind? How do you frame the sentences and how do you represent it is also a part of judgment, right? Sometimes we feel that the idea seems so familiar. I was also thinking in the same line. How come he got it or she got it? It's all about how you put forth your idea, right? So how do you put forth the things that you are doing? This is also a way of judging how a person thinks. What's the thinking pattern of the person? Next, it would also help in shedding light on the candidate's leadership, managerial, and creative thinking. Remember, here we have carefully mentioned creative thinking. You always have to think out of the box. You always have to think out of the box. Let me give you a very simple example. A very recent example that has been happening with students. So you all have an idea when recruiters come and when they do group discussion, what will they be doing? They'll be first assigning you a topic, and then you are given some moments to think about the topic, and then you can start your discussion. They would tell you start the discussion, right? Now, in one such recruitment process, very beautifully the recruiters had a very nice and beautiful concept in mind. Let me tell you what they did. What they did was, after they formed the groups, usually group discussions would have 6 to 10 members in the group. So after they formed the group, instead of giving a topic to the group, what they actually did was, they placed a blank A4 size sheet, the printing paper that you have. Okay, they placed a blank A4 size printing paper, and they told the group, this is your topic. They told the group that this is your topic. Now, can you tell me, or can you assume what topic were they looking for? What was the topic that they were looking for? Or what would the candidates, or what should the candidates understand and discuss at this point? I'll repeat. They kept a blank A4 size sheet of paper. That is the printing paper that we take a printout on. It was a blank paper. They put it on the desk, and they told the candidates that this is your topic. So what could the topic be? Or what should the candidates be discussing on? What should they discuss? Excellent. We've gotten a response from Gaurav, which says that blank sheet is equal to the efforts and life journey of the candidates and the dedication level of his or hers. Very good. What else? Okay, excellent, Ramesh. They're expecting that the topic should be about the A4 size paper, its importance, and how they can use the A4 size paper. Very good on that part. Yes, what else could be the topic, the potential topic that they want the candidates to discuss on? Okay, they might be expecting you to take any topic from your side and try and see how you are thinking. And so we've got a few answers. Maybe others have not had their breakfast today. Let's say some of the answers that I've got from other classes would be, ma'am, they're talking about save trees, save environment, save paper. Or maybe they are trying to ask us how a paper is manufactured, what are the different ways a paper is manufactured. Or let's see, I would look at it as Gaurav has also mentioned that I would look at it as a blank canvas. I'd look at it as the blank question that has been given to me, and how do I answer it? How creative I am. See, it's the same piece of A4 size paper which we use for printing. So maybe they would be talking about the importance of written communication. If I am a communication teacher, so I would look at it at that way as well. Right. So what I'm trying to help you with over here is, this example is not merely trying to tell you that people will be very harsh and they'll give such topics. It's very hard. What I'm trying to tell you is that they also want to see how creative you are. What do you assume of that one piece of paper? So many things can be assumed, right? So many things can be assumed here in this case. And why do you want somebody who's creative? Because every organization wants to sustain for the most longest duration of time in the market. How can you sustain? You can sustain if you are different from the rest. You cannot grow two hands and two legs extra, right? You cannot be different in that way. So how do you be different? You'll be different intellectually. You become different intellectually. You become more creative. Let me give you a very this example we might not be able to have connected. Let me give a simple example of let's say a bathing soap that you are using, the bathing soap that you are using. See, the key ingredients for any soap would remain the same. Then they'll have their own signature styles. But why do you use the soap that you have been using? Or, in the family, people would say, no, we use only this soap, not the other one. The creativity behind it, how they advertise it, how they market it, how they shape the product. It is basically a bar of detergent that helps you cleanse your body. Right? The basic elements are those only. But how you turn it into a beautiful shape, beautiful colors, little carvings on the soap, maybe the fragrance is the fragrance that you like, etc. So that's how, with the same product, they can become creative. Right? So group discussion also would test your creative skills. Why? How do you present your ideas a little differently? Next, it would help in analyzing the candidate's attitude towards other team members. How do you behave with other people, known and unknown as well? In a situation where each of you is trying to achieve the same goal, that is, each of you is trying to get an opportunity for interview, right? So how do you behave with other people in a situation like this? Now, what is the structure of a group discussion? This is a generalized common structure. This is generalized common structure of a group discussion. Remember, we have been doing, or we have been reading about and learning about technical aspects, right? So a structure is one of the important parts of anything that is technical. So group discussion, here we are taking it as a technical discussion in terms of the recruitment process. So what is the structure? So very first thing is entering the discussion. So how do you enter the discussion? In a similar way that you enter your classroom, that is, you ask for permission and you greet the person, good afternoon, good morning, whatever. So here in the discussion, what you need to do is, you first need to begin with the greeting. You first need to begin with the greeting. After you have, or after you are done with the greeting, what you are supposed to do is, you are supposed to clearly state the topic. You are supposed to clearly state the topic. Right? Maybe they have declared the topic, but you have to tell them. So today we are going to discuss on, and then the topic whatsoever has been asked to be discussed. Like if sometime you might have a topic like this blank piece of paper, there you have to decide the topic, right? That's why here you have to clearly state the topic before you start the discussion, right after your greetings part. Then you should begin with the opening remarks. Your opening remarks should be strong and interesting. Your opening remarks should be strong and interesting. Remember, opening remarks here means just a few sentences, maybe 2 or 3 sentences, not more. Do not reveal all your cards over here. Remember, you are not supposed to reveal everything that you have to say over here. Just have to give a little idea about it. The way we do opening remarks for our lecture sessions, similarly, you have to do an opening remark over here for the group discussion. Here, let me give you a very nice and simple example. Let's say we all have an idea about the English alphabet. We have an idea about the English alphabet. Everybody knows A, B, C. That's how it's meant to be. It starts with an A and ends with a Z or a Z, as you call it. So, if there's some interesting story behind why the alphabet is arranged in the way it is, how would you start that group discussion? How would you make an opening remark? Why does the English alphabet just start with the letter A and not by letter Z, and then you have letter F, and then you have letter B, and then A at the end? Why not like that? Why does it start in the order A, B, C, D? So, what would you think of in such a scenario or situation? Let's say you are given a topic that why does the English alphabet begin with the letter A? So, what would you say? That could be one of the questions or one of the topics for group discussion would be something like this. So, what would you do in this case? Alphabet starts from A, but why? The alphabet is starting from A. That they have mentioned in the topic. So, what would be your arguments in such a case? That's a very interesting topic. Don't worry. Fine. Excellent search, Gaurav. right? What Gaurav has said is quite interesting, and very less number of people know about it. So let me narrate the story to make the group discussion a little interesting. We also know about not only the English alphabets, we know about the Greek ones as well, right? Alpha, beta, theta. Maybe some of us just realized that we know alpha, but we never knew it was a Greek alphabet. Okay, so alpha, beta, theta. That's the Greek alphabet, right? Now, if you see the formation of the letter alpha, it's a circle with two lines. Okay, it's a circle with two lines. To be very to describe it in a very simplified manner. Now, if you tilt the alpha, as rightly mentioned by Gaurav over here, if you tilt the alpha, it turns into a circle with two horns. Right? And he has correctly mentioned that the Phoenicians, people who, when we did not have words, when it was pictorial, when they drew it to resemble a bull or an ox. So why an ox or a bull should be the first letter in the alphabet? Such a dangerous animal. Dangerous in the sense if he loses control and could be a problem. Why so? Why only the bull, the picture of the bull to be the first letter? So there is a very simple logic that we can apply over here, and that would also turn your group discussion very interesting. So what are the three basic necessities of life? The three basic necessities of life. Also the name of a nice Hindi movie as well. Roti, kapda or makan. Roti, food. Kapda, clothing. Shelter, then makan. Right? Roti, food. Now though really do have modern ways of cultivating food, but the original method of cultivating food was harvesting it and planting it with the help of bulls. The bulls used to plow the land, and then you could have crops, then you could harvest it with the help of animals. Now we have advanced, though we have machinery instead of animals, but initially it was the animal bull. And that is why if food is the first necessity of life, it becomes the first alphabet or the first letter of the alphabet. See, somewhere down the line, we might think, madam, would they have thought such highly? They might have, they might not have. But see, this is a group discussion. I'm sharing the information which I have. Group discussions are never meant to be right or wrong. It's not like a debate. Remember, it's an opinion. How interestingly you can tell about a story. How interestingly can you dissect the topic that is given to you. So this would be really interesting. Now, if you see the letter B or the Greek letter beta, it actually is a representation, a pictorial representation of a two-storied house. See, some of us might have never imagined beta to look like a two-story house. Now we can imagine it because somebody has put forth a perspective, right? So this is how you have an opening remark. Then you can support your information by saying, no, English has never been a language on its own. English has always borrowed from other languages. It has been inspired from other languages, right? So even I think that the alphabet also might be having an inspiration from other uh, language alphabets. And that is why when the Greeks saw that alpha to be the first, even when you speak the word alpha, it means the team leader. So you can have, see, I'm not trying to help you with why A is first or second. I'm trying to drag you into a group discussion or a conversation where you might have opinion one, two, three, four. The leader stands first. By alpha, we mean it's a leader. Right? We have heard in many English movies, he's the alpha of the pack. A pack of wolves would always have an alpha. If you watch Geography Channel, uh, or if you watch something related to animals, National Geography or Discovery, right? They'll say there's always an alpha in the pack. It could be a pack of wolf, it could be a pack of lions, etc. By alpha we mean the leader. So when you have to lead, you have to be first in the line. That's my opinion. See, it's not necessary if you lead you have to be first. Some leaders sit back and they lead, right? But this could be one of the arguments that I can give when there is a topic like this. Fine. So it makes the topic a little more interesting. The audience is like, oh my god, I never knew, what connection this person found out. How creative. It's just a simple information which you put in with a nice story, creating a nice background. Instead of directly telling you that it's an ox and it's alpha and this and that, I told a connection between the English and the Greek language. Then I told that what is the pictorial representation. Then why only the bull first? I took you to the story of the basic necessities. So imagine the awe that you create. This is a very simple topic for our understanding. So any topic, if you take up this awe, if you are able to create, sorry, if you are able to create this awe in the group, you will lay a very good first impression on the interviewer, right? Then not only the beginning, okay? If the beginning is good, but the end does not continue that magical effect, the beginning is a wastage. So what do you have to do? After the opening remarks, you have to support the opening remarks with the help of your comments. Now, what are the comments? Comments are basically your opinions, which also have the support of facts and figures. So where did you read about this information? You might have read it somewhere. So you can always say that, once upon a time in our college when we were doing group discussions, such a similar topic came to our mind, and madam was explaining. We also searched on internet or on Google, and this is what we got to know. Very interesting fact. I was interested, and I, further researched and read about it. So I read it on a particular website or a particular research paper, etc. You can not say that I read it somewhere. Better you say I read it on Wikipedia, one of the open sources that you can use and you can increase your knowledge. By facts and figures, remember, it is like the signature that you do on the letter. To authenticate the letter that you are writing, to authenticate the letter that you have writing, you sign the letter. Similarly, to authenticate the details that you are giving in the group discussion, you have to support it with facts and figures. So in the Times of India headlines, yesterday's headlines, it was there, which means we need to be updated, right? And then towards the end of the group discussion, you conclude it. In the conclusion, remember, wherever we are concluding, we already have an idea when we are writing technical documents. Similarly, when you are communicating technically, or even if you are not communicating technically, when we are completing the process, or when you are coming to the conclusion, do not introduce a new idea. You actually complete the idea which has been discussed. Now, sometimes what will happen is, in a group discussion, you might not come to a common uh, opinion towards the end. So there, what you can do is you can summarize in a few sentences. You can summarize the entire discussion over here. So which one of these is a well formulated tool for judging the candidates? Arguments, speeches, group discussion, debate. What do you think is the correct answer over here? Excellent. Quick answers and all correct answers. You are all excellently, exceptionally correct and quick about it. It's indeed the group discussion, which is a well formulated tool for judging the candidates. When we see here candidates, these are the prospective employees, okay? The potential employees. So group discussion is a part of the selection process. Now, when this question is asked, this is a very important question from the exam point of view. When this question is asked, what do they mean? Now, in the introduction of this question, you are supposed to write why group discussion. So why do we do group discussion? We do group discussion to select. First, you can select a suitable candidate. Secondly, you may also be asked to do group discussion to seek admission in professional institutes. Many institutes, while giving the admission or before giving the admission, would administer something like this. And even group discussion has now become an integral part of any recruitment process, be it any process, okay? Be it any recruitment process, group discussion is always there. I hope you have been interacting with your seniors, and you might have heard that, first they have a written test. If you clear the written test, then the second step is a group discussion. And then if you clear the group discussion, then the third step would be that you get a chance for a personal interview. That's the original chance that you get to showcase your abilities. You might have heard from your friends. Right, so this is what you can write as an introduction. Now, what are the characteristics of a group discussion, especially when it is a part of the recruitment? Remember, here we are trying to discuss it especially as a part of recruitment. Okay, especially when it is a part of the recruitment process, a group of 8 to 10 candidates is formed. Most of the time it is 10 candidates. Then these groups, they are not assigned leaders. There is nobody who's the leader. That leading role somebody has to take on his or her own. You cannot say, I'm the leader, I'll start. It is a leaderless group, and usually the time limit is of 30 minutes. Now, these 30 minutes are broken into pieces. Broken into pieces, by pieces I mean they're divided into a timeline or a time frame. Now, what's the division? Once they give the topic, they would always give some 5 to 7 minutes of time for preparation. By preparation, here we do not use our mobile phones, but we would either mentally or on a piece of paper jot down whatever ideas we have in our mind at that particular moment when we listen to the topic. Then 20 minutes of discussion time, where 15 minutes of discussion, 5 minutes of conclusion. So that's 25, and last 5 minutes for a feedback part from the panelist. Remember, the communication process is never complete without the feedback, right? As I said, unit 1 is omnipresent. It will be present throughout all the units, right? It's actually the foundation or base for our discussion of these things. So 5 minutes for the feedback part, and then this is completed. Now see, when you do a group discussion, it does not assure that you will get the job. Yes, it does assure that if you perform well, in case you perform well, you might get a chance for personal interview. Remember, group discussion is not an assurance of a job. It is an assurance that you will get a chance to display your skills individually and in person with the job recruiters. Fine. So, usually group discussions are done in a sitting arrangement, and the arrangement in the venue would be either circular, rectangular, or U-shaped, depending on the place. It depends on where you are doing the group discussion. Usually they would do a round table around group discussion. Why? As I told you, it is always not only about the words, it is also about your body language. How do I know your body language? If I look at somebody, I cannot just make out somebody's body language by listening to his or her words. Remember, you can cheat with your words, you cannot cheat with your body language. Right? So how do you behave? You are very angry, but you say, no, it's very nice, so nice of you to do this thing. That we can make out from the person's expression and face, whether he or she is comfortable or not comfortable. Remember, the recruiters do not only want to listen how intelligent you are with your words, but they also want to see how intelligent you are with your body language. How do you express through your body language? Now, what happens is either you may sit on the seats which are allocated to you, or you can select your own seats. Usually, the seats would be allocated to you. Why so? See, usually we don't meet the recruiters many times before we go to the group discussion. Now, the person is supposed to judge me and give me marks for my performance. So, how will the person know who is who? How will the person know who is who? So, that is why when they arrange the chairs, they would also have thought of some arrangement of candidate 1 is this, candidate 2 is this, according to the list that they have in their hands. According to the list that they have in their hands. Right? So, that's the reason the seats would be allocated. There would be a panel that is present at that moment there with you in that room. This panel is there so that they can judge. Now the panel can be either present in the same room, or they can be having an arrangement where the panel can monitor you through a camera. Right, they are not present in the same room. The rules of the group discussion are explained. Remember, even if you are educated enough, you have a lot of education, you have a lot of knowledge, you know what group discussion is, then also as a part of the process. See, remember, as I said, presentation. In presentation, you have to assume that the audience does not know anything. You have to tell audience the minutest of the details. Similarly, here the recruiters would assume that the candidates do not know anything about group discussion. They do not have an idea about what the rules could be, etc. So, what they do is they begin by informing you about the rules in detail and how will it work and all. Fine. And then they would also introduce the panel to you. These are the people in the panel who are going to judge you. Right? And after the topic is assigned to you, you are provided some time for thinking. Now, how do I know my group discussion has started or not? There'd be a signal. The way we have a bell to signal that the lecture is over, similarly, they'll also have some method of informing you or signaling you that the group discussion is to start now. Thinking time is over, and now you can start the group discussion. And the discussion time is over, and now you can conclude. Right? They'll be informing you, signaling you in the manner that is possible. Maybe ringing a bell, maybe hitting a buzzer, something. Now this is a very important question. Please note down the 5 key terms or key words that we have over here. The entire process of communication or group discussion over here happens so that somebody is recruited. Now, what are the criteria on which I will be judged? We always ask this, madam, what will they judge me on? So these are the 5 broad areas over which candidates are judged in a group discussion. Knowledge, team spirit, communication skills, leadership skills, and group behavior. Now, each of this topic has a little detailing as well. Please mark this wherever you are noting down important questions for the subject. Mark this as an important question. How is a candidate evaluated and analyzed in a group discussion, which is a part of a selection process? So, what are the criterias of evaluation for a candidate in group discussion? What are the rubrics on which the candidate is evaluated in a group discussion? Could be some of the ways in which the question can be formulated. Now, let's see, what do I mean by knowledge? What do I mean by knowledge? See, everybody has knowledge. You have been educated, you know certain things. But what is the depth of your knowledge? How far you can go? How far you can connect your knowledge to other things? And not just any kind of connection, but a logical connection. How can you make that connection? Next, many people have ideas, but they cannot organize their ideas. I might have a very nice idea, but I don't know how to organize it. By organizing, I mean, sometimes what happens is people would first provide you with an idea, then they will go back to some other idea, then they'll go somewhere else. It is all chaotic. Remember, chaos cannot be part of any technical documentation, whether it is oral or written. You would have heard me saying every now and then organized, specific, clear. These are the words I have been using since we have been doing unit 2 and 3, right? Here, your ideas should be organized, your ideas should be clear. You are not supposed to dump your ideas all at once. You have to give your inputs throughout the group discussion. Madam, I'm done. I dumped it. No, this is not a person opinion, one person's opinion, then the second, then the third. It's a discussion. It's a two-way process. It should happen. Let's say if I keep on speaking and speaking and speaking, and there is somebody who is deaf, will it be beneficial? No. Whatever I have spoken is a waste of time and energy because person never heard it. Right? Similarly, you cannot just dump the ideas. You have to form a discussion. Right? So you have to organize. First, I will talk about this. Then when somebody talks about point B, I'll be giving my point C. That's called the preparation part. This is actually the part of the preparation. You know things, but how will you organize it? Proper organization is also an important part, right? How original your ideas are. Somebody might have used this idea in area 1. Can you use the same idea in area 2? That's called originality. We know everything is not original, okay? We have a foundation to every idea and then we move forward. There's a foundation for every idea and then we move forward. Right? Then whatever you are contributing, as a part of the group discussion, is it convincing enough? When some people speak, we are like, yeah, he speaks always like this. Don't take him seriously. Here in the group discussion, when you speak, the impression should be that people would be taking you seriously. Wow, such a beautiful idea he shared. I never thought it this way. I never thought of the problem or a solution for this problem in this manner. This is what would be the reaction of the audience or the people who are there with you in group discussion. Wow, beautiful, excellent idea. How do I know? People will never say in the group discussion itself that your idea was excellent. You can see that awe on the person's face. Remember, facial expression. When you are surprised, somebody whom you think in your class is very dull, he never answers questions. And when that person would give the answer to the most difficult question being asked, you are in an awe. That means you have a expression of surprise on your face. He answered it. Oh my God, I don't believe it. Right? That kind of expression should be created in terms of when you are dealing with ideas to be discussed in your group discussion. Next, the key ingredient that we are looking towards in a group discussion is your problem solving ability. Can you solve the problem? See, we're not going to see the possibility of whether actually the problem can be solved. But do you have an idea about solving the problem? How creative and how different can you be? What kind of offbeat solutions can you bring? Right? So that's what they will check in the knowledge area. Then communication skills. Now the problem with us is we love to talk, we love not to listen. Most of us, what we do is we like to talk. We don't want to listen to anybody. The good part about this pandemic is students have started listening to teachers. There is very less scope of a noisy class. Though we miss those noisy days, that has become a part of our routine. But now maybe people have turned into listeners as well. Why do you have to listen in a group discussion? It's very important to listen because it's a group discussion, it's not an individual performance. Remember, if the group performance is good, then and then your performance will be appreciated. Why? You cannot just give individual points on your own. You have to connect the dots with the group. So if somebody gives another opinion, you can say, see, my friend, I believe you are correct. I really hope you are correct. But what the Times of India says, or what the Economic Times says, contradicts with what you are putting up as an opinion. Then your knowledge will be valued. You have to listen to what the other person is saying. Next, the clarity of thought and expression, appropriate language and appropriate body language. Remember, it's not going to leave you, okay? Language and body language are supposed to go hand in hand. Here, how do you put forth your ideas after listening to somebody based on somebody's view? How you give your opinions matters a lot. So, your communication skills, active listening. See, it's from here only four topics being explained, because sometimes you can have some tricky questions like, discuss the communication skills as a part of the evaluation in group discussion. So then what do? You cannot just write 4 points and it's over. So active listening, what do we mean by active listening? Careful listening will help you take the group discussion in a correct direction. In case somebody is diverting from the topic, you may be able to help the person to you may be able to help pull the conversation or discussion in the correct direction once again, right? So these are little more deep discussion of active listening. Then clarity of thought and expression, how you can cultivate appropriate tone, and you have the ability to influence and convince people. Most of the times lively and cheerful voices are appreciated, and voice modulation is likely to be appreciated in a group discussion. You cannot say, no, 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 you are incorrect. When somebody gives an opinion, you cannot say, no, 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 this is very wrong. The tone is, so though you are saying, trying to oppose the opinion, but the tone is wrong. You have to say, my friend, I feel you have a very different perspective. What I have to say is a little different from what you are saying. The same thing, but in a different way, it is expected. Right? Remember, group discussion is not a fight. Okay, you don't have to earn anything out of it. You don't have to always be correct. You are not supposed to hurt the other person's self esteem that you don't know anything. This is not what is updated, right? You have to tell him that you might have missed reading about the new update that has come, and maybe the update came today morning only, so I'd like to inform you about it. Right? You tell it in a very polite manner. Then appropriate language. uh, we all have this idea of using fanciful language, huge terms and big words. We are fascinated by the way Shashi Tharoor uses language. Remember, everybody cannot understand Shashi Tharoor. His writings are meant for a particular kind of a crowd. Remember, every time I said audience analysis, you have to use your language according to the presence of the audience. Mostly in the group discussion, you have to take a medium audience in your mind and use words. Instead of beating around the bush, you have to be more clear, more precise, and the idea should flow without breakage. Right? When you're switching from one idea to other idea, it should not be like a bump on the road. It should be a smooth highway. It smoothly you transit from one idea to the other. So how do you do it? You keep your language simple and unambiguous. Ambiguous means something which is not clear. Unambiguous means something which is with clarity. Clarity in terms of how you speak, proper pronunciation, proper use of grammar, and less use of jargons. Using technical terms less. In case you use a technical term, sometimes it is inevitable. Madam, what do I call a motherboard? It's a technical term. It's a motherboard. Then what you can do is you can have a one small sentence or one liner to explain your technical term. Let's say in a discussion I have to use a technical term, like I can call it the protagonist and the antagonist. That's a technical term for literature students. In that case, most of us might not understand it. So what do I do is I can say protagonist, the main hero of the, or the main guy in the movie, or the main guy in the story, the main character of the story. Then who's the antagonist? That's the opposite one, the bad guy in the story. He's not the good guy, he's the villain, right? So if you are using jargons, minimum use of jargons, but in case where you cannot avoid using the jargon, what you can do is you can give a short explanation of it. Most of us believe that complication creates an impact, but not in that this case. Remember, the recruiters are looking for quality, not quantity. You are supposed to create an impact, but in a positive manner. Appropriate body language, as I said, language and body language go hand in hand. So gestures and mannerisms is what you have to uh, look into and practice more. Most of us have been habituated to behave in a such a in a way that we behave, right? Some of us are so elegant, you see them, we also make fun of them, he or she has his breakfast and lunch and everything with a spoon, cannot eat without spoon. That's a habit. Similarly, body language, you can train your body to behave in a way, right? You can form a habit of behaving in a way. Why? See, sometimes, as I said, some of us took a lot of time when I gave you the topic of the blank paper as well as the alphabet. You took your time, and then only a few of you answered because most of us were not aware what to do. Here, I could not see your expression, so that was fine. But when you are sitting in a group discussion, that look on your face that you don't know would give away a lot of information to the recruiters. He does not know the topic, he's just faking that he knows it. Instead, a confident look. Okay, let it be. Let me think what it is all about. Remember, group discussion is not about. I have been repeating it twice, thrice. I have repeated it. That group discussion is not about being right or wrong. It is about forming an opinion about the topic that is given to you. It could be right. It could be wrong. It could be neither. Right? It could be something in between. Right? A third formation. So your confidence should shine on your face, whether you know the topic or not. That's a very different idea. You know what sometimes happens is I might not know about the topic, I might not have heard, but when people start talking, I could remember. I'll get a light, the bulb will light in my mind. Oh, I've heard about this, and then you can start your discussion. It happens. It would have happened with every one of us. So never worry whatever the topic is. If you cannot help yourself, your friends are there to help, or the other group members are there to help. Once they initiate, right, you will always automatically get ideas. Even when we are having a thinking time in the group discussion, sometimes we might not be able to think about the idea, but once somebody speaks some words, we'll have a light, we'll have a eureka moment. Eureka moment means the bulb will light up, you'll get an idea about it, your mind will light up with ideas, right? So always have a confident posture and a confident expression. Make proper eye contact. Remember, a good presenter has good eye contact to create a positive impact. When I say good eye contact, I do not mean you stare into the person's eyes, right? You are not supposed to stare into a person's eyes. What you are supposed to do is you have to have a rotational eye contact with the candidates. Moreover, please control your emotions. There, if somebody says that, see, your opinion is incorrect, you are not supposed to get angry over it. Control yourself. It's just a matter of 20 or 25 minutes. We are not enemies. We're just a bunch of people trying to get some idea of the topic which is given to us. So that is why control your emotions. Do not flow away in emotion. Do not show anger. Do not show that you don't agree with the person. Right? Do not show it through your facial expressions or gestures. Try to control that. The next is team spirit. How do you interact with somebody? How do you balance between what you think and between what other thinks? You are supposed to be more people centric and less egocentric. Egocentric means you are at the center. People at the center is what is expected. People at the center means you have to go along with the whole crowd. You cannot stand away from the crowd. I know people say if you are correct, you have to stand even if you are standing alone. But in a group discussion, because it's a group performance, you cannot stand alone. Yes, you can make your mark by giving beautiful examples, by giving exemplary facts and figures that you can stand out from the group, but you have to walk with the group. Listen and react to others' views, and also ask them to listen to what you are saying and react. Give that space or scope. Coordination and cooperation are the two things that will help group discussion become interesting and successful. Leadership skills. See, by leadership skills, I don't mean you have to always speak first. Yes, there is a plus point. When you speak first, you can take the direction, you can take hold of the direction in which the group discussion will go. But by leadership skills, over here we mean a balance in the functional and the coordinating ability. So, what is the functional ability? The knowledge, mental, and physical energy that you display. Some students are very energetic. Madam, yes, I will do it. I will do it. That kind of energy, that kind of excitement to discuss should be there. Objectivity, emotional intelligence, integrity, emotional stability. And the coordinating ability is the group adaptability and the group motivation. Sometimes some people are reluctant to speak, so you can motivate them. So, my friend over here, what are your opinions? Please motivate them, don't drag them into the conversation, right? You are not supposed to group behavior. When I say, you are not supposed to uh, drag the person forcefully into the group discussion. If you are seeing that the person is not getting a chance to say something, definitely you can try and give him or her a chance. Now, group behavior, proper manner, and proper etiquettes to be following. Trying to coordinate with diverse viewpoints, and at times bringing the discussion back on track. Moreover, trying to involve reticent. When I say reticent, participants who are reluctant to contribute to the discussion. You can always ask them to discuss. As I said, what is your opinion, my friend? That's how you can ask them. He or she, if they say I don't have any opinion, don't keep going back to the person. Now, these are the three types of leaders: authoritative, amiable, and democratic. See, we don't require authoritative and amiable leaders. We require leaders, they are democratic. These are democratic leaders, are the leaders that include everyone in the discussion and also give everybody a chance to express. Right? We don't want somebody who just wants his way of discussing, and we also don't want somebody who wants to avoid other opinions and wants everything to happen in peaceful. Yes, in democracy you might have peace, you might have chaos, but in democracy you listen to everybody. You give everybody a chance to give their opinion, right? That's so we require a democratic kind of a leader and not the other two kinds. So, which one of these is not a part of the evaluation and analysis with respect to recruitment process and group discussion? Excellent and quick. Once again, the answer is D. So it's very simple. Why D? Because reading skills, they are a part of more of you cannot judge somebody's reading skills when somebody is talking. Yes, reading and talking are related, but reading skills cannot be judged on one the way one talks. And somebody would be very good at reading but very not good at expressing, or it could be the either way around. So here, as a part of the evaluation, you cannot take reading skills. Excellent. So now, organizational group discussion, very important from the exam point of view because it has types and subtypes. Remember, it has types and subtypes. So there are three techniques when you are doing an organizational group discussion. The three techniques are brainstorming technique, nominal group technique, and Delphi technique. Please mark this as an important question. The various techniques for an organizational group discussion. Remember, this three topics are there. These three topics will be divided again into subtopics. So mark it important. Brainstorming will be divided into two further topics. So brainstorming. What is brainstorming technique? In brainstorming technique, this technique is usually used for generating a variety of ideas and perspectives. It is a tool used for generating a variety of ideas and perspectives. Usually people that are involved here, usually the people that are involved in brainstorming, they might be from diverse backgrounds, or they could also be from the same background but having diverse ideas. It is actually a method of generating ideas. Okay, brainstorming is a method of generating ideas. Usually in, now remember, every time we have brainstorming a technique and the steps to do the technique. Now why this question is important? This question is important because they can ask small questions from a huge question like this. Let's say if you have brainstorming, you have an introduction to brainstorming, and then you have the steps. You have nominal group, you have nominal group information, and then you have steps. Delphi technique, information and steps. Now brainstorming will also have further types, right? So this can become discuss brainstorming. So that's a big question. You have to write what is brainstorming, a little information about brainstorming, the steps, then the types, little information about the types. That is how this will work. Now, in brainstorming, a group of 6 to 12 people sit around a table. Here, you have a group leader who states the problem, and the members of the group are suggested to write down as many solutions as possible without discussing. You are not supposed to discuss it right away. What you are supposed to do is you are supposed to note down as many solutions as possible, which will be recorded, and then each problem will be again taken up and then discussed further afterwards, not at the right moment. Now there are two types of brainstorming. One is storyboarding, and the next one is lotus bloom. Storyboarding technique is used to solve complex problems. Actually, what happens in storyboarding is you have to identify major problem areas, and then each problem area you will have solutions, then each solution you have to discuss. Whereas you take the lotus blooming technique, it actually is similar to the lotus flower. There is a center and there are 8 petals. Similarly, each problem is the center and then they will have 8 petals. Now, after this 8 petals are made, now each petal is then considered to be the center, and then you have 8 other surrounding ideas. This step is repeated until the participants cannot further have any ideas or solutions, or you have already got a problem solved through this method. So it represents, or it is similar to a lotus flower. Then you have the nominal group technique. Now in the nominal group technique, discussions are made. You are physically sitting with the person in the same room, but you are also given the chance to operate independently. How? These are the steps. The problem is presented, and before a discussion takes place, everybody individually is supposed to jot down his or her ideas. You cannot discuss with your neighbor. You have to first jot down the ideas. Now, each member would present the ideas, and the common ideas would be recorded, and the uncommon ideas also recorded. Now, then each idea, one by one, the idea is picked up, and then it is clearly discussed further. Then each member would prioritize the idea in the order in which they feel that it is important. The major advantage of this kind of uh, or this technique of group discussion is, though you are sitting together at one place, but it also provides space for individual thinking. It also provides space for individual thinking. The last one is a Delphi technique. It is a little more complex and time consuming technique. It is a little similar to the nominal group technique. The only difference is you never meet the person physically. The members who are going to do discussion never meet physically. How do they discuss then? Each member, after the problem being identified, each member is provided with X number of solutions through a questionnaire. So, does anybody know what is a questionnaire? There's a technical term that we have over here. What is a questionnaire? Excellent answers. It's actually a list of questions for solving any problems. Right? You are correct about that. So, a list of questions is created, designed, which is known as a questionnaire. And each member anonymously, that you do not know who the member is, and independently completes the first questionnaire. After the first questionnaire is completed and you receive answers from everybody, you're supposed to compile the answers. Then a second copy of the questionnaire is prepared. If you find that still you have not got satisfactory answers, you try to get answers in some other way or some other manner. Not only that, the answers to be prepared, but also the people who have filled the questionnaire would receive a copy of the answer. So this is what we conclude by the questionnaire that has been filled up by this many people, 10 people, 12 people, 14 people, whatever. Right? So out of 14, 13 believe that opinion A is a correct way of solving this problem, etc. Now this step of forming, reforming and analyzing the answers can be repeated as many times as required. The step can be repeated as many times as required, or until you get a satisfactory solution to the problem. It could be repeated that many times. This is a sample questionnaire. We might have given a feedback to the restaurant where we love to eat, or we used to love to eat before the situation has arisen as of now. So this is a format which we might be familiar with. It's a similar kind of a format would be used for any kind of a questionnaire. Let's say when you give faculty feedback, our institute also has this questionnaire format. Remember, you give feedback to your faculties on the portal, the stars 1 to 5, 1 being the less, 5 being the more. It is also a kind of a questionnaire. Right? This is also, I'm trying to give you practical examples so that it's easier for you to understand what kind of questions can be there in the questionnaire. Right? So, that faculty feedback form that you fill up is also one kind of a questionnaire only. Yes, this is a little tricky of a question. A method for generating a variety of ideas and perspectives is called dash Delphi, brainstorming, nominal group, or all of the above. This is a little tricky. Please think carefully before you answer. Most of you have answered D to be the. Okay. We have got brainstorming. Excellent. Excellent. We have seen through the tricky part of this question. Remember, when there is an option of all of the above, not necessarily that option is correct. What we try to do is most of the times we think that there's an option which says all of the above, so it means everything, all of the above should be the correct answer and everything is all inclusive. It's not like that. Okay, this is where the trick part comes. uh, Remember, I've been repeatedly telling you that we are trying to prepare ourselves in two different ways. One way, if we have a regular exam, well and good. If we don't have a regular exam, what do we do? By regular exam, I mean if you don't have the way you have been giving an exam and you have something called MCQ. So this could be one of the tricky questions that could be asked, that can be asked in the examination if it's an MCQ exam. See, remember, some of you might have used the technique of deciphering what the words say. So brainstorming. So a storm in the brain. Why do you have a storm in the brain? Because you are supposed to generate ideas. Also, I'll take you back to the slide where we have brainstorming, and the very first sentence says that it is the method for generating a variety of ideas and perspectives. So those who have opted for option B, brainstorming, you are absolutely correct. And this is one of the tricky kind of questions that could be asked in the examination as well. So now we go to the do's and don'ts of group discussion. This could be a short question that can be asked. So please listen to the topic very carefully. The topic that is assigned to you, you should be listening to it very carefully. Put down your thoughts on a paper if provided the recruiters give you a chance to note down thoughts on the paper, or else you have to arrange it in your mind. As I said, if you initiate the group discussion, you always have a plus point. The plus point is that you already have one chance where you can speak and you have spoken your thoughts. The second benefit of initiating the group discussion is somebody will not be able to, knowingly or unknowingly, will not be able to take away the idea that you have. And thirdly, when you initiate a group discussion, it could also help you take the discussion in the direction that you want the discussion to go. But remember, do not start the discussion if you are not sure about the topic which is assigned to you. Do not initiate. Please see the longer benefit, don't see the shorter benefit. Well, it will not be of benefit in case you don't know the topic well, right? So try to look into things in that manner. Is it beneficial? Now, in case you do not know about the subject or you are not quite sure that this is what they are asking, have the habit of listening. Listening would be equally important. As I've been mentioning throughout the discussion about group discussion, that you are not supposed to dump your ideas all at once. So what is advised is you give a contribution of 30-40 seconds 3 to 4 times within the entire discussion. Now, some of you might think, Madam, 30-40 seconds. So I'll give a very simple example. If you introduce yourself, remember, if you are introducing yourself, you please record. You sometimes would think she is just bluffing. But when a student makes his or her introduction, it is not more than 45 seconds. It is not more than 45 seconds. Okay. So from that, you have an idea that if she's saying a contribution of 25 to 30 seconds, okay, we can make it. right? Because in your introduction, when you introduce yourself, you know yourself better than anybody else in the world. That's the best topic to talk about. Then also, when you are introducing yourself, you hardly take 45 seconds. Okay, so that's why here it is advised that you take 3 4 times, you take the chance and you communicate 3 4 times. Make short contributions of 25 to 30 seconds, so that you interact throughout the group discussion and not only at one point of it. Speak politely and pleasantly and see to it that the other person also get chance. Don't stick to your point and repeat your point every now and then. If you have a different point to make, then and then you should speak. A repetition of point is not appreciated in group discussion. Yes, you can take the foundation as he has rightly mentioned. I would also go with it. That can be done. Please be also careful. Do not rush to make a conclusion when you see that the group is yet to discuss. When you are disagreeing, you should also disagree with politeness. The don'ts, as I said, the very first thing, you want to initiate it but you do not know much about the topic, don't initiate. Avoid initiating in case you have not gotten very good idea about the topic which is assigned to you. Secondly, don't speak while the other person is speaking. Don't interrupt the person. Don't interrupt the person when somebody is speaking. Let him or her finish and then you can raise your point. Do not argue and shout. Remember, it is a group discussion. Everybody has the freedom. We are citizens of a free country, democratic country. So everybody has the right to speech. So let the other person speak, and you can also put forward your opinions in a polite manner. Don't shout and argue. Do not keep on looking at the person who is going to judge you or the evaluator. Remember, technical activities, whether it is group discussion, writing, or any other activity, I've always told that irrelevant material is not appreciated. So it means that even when you are group discussing, we don't want you to dump information. We want you to tell us something which is new, which is also, even if it is not new, it is relevant to the topic. We don't want you to talk about something which is not relevant. Okay, it's not appreciated when you talk irrelevant information. Remember, body language is also a medium of judging you. So maintain a positive body language. Do not have negative body language like touching the nose, playing with elements like pen, your hair, or any other accessories that you are wearing, or shaking your leg. We have a habit of, shaking our leg all the time. That also makes the bench or the table move. Avoid those kind of gestures. Do not display low self confidence, because the confidence, if it is high or low, can be measured through the way you speak, in the manner you speak, right? So speak with confidence. It is okay, everybody might not know everything. It is fine not to know. Okay, do not, as I said, you may give your group member a chance to speak, but don't drag the person into the conversation. If the person does not want to speak, once you may give a chance, but you cannot keep on insisting. You want to say something, you cannot keep asking the person same questions over and over again. Okay, now before we take this topics for group discussion, as I have mentioned, a group discussion would have more than 5 people. So in our case, there are 21 of us in the class or the lab session. Right? There are 21 students in the lab session. Now, if you go to the shared folder that we have made in the lab batch B, you will already you can see you can already see a subfolder called group discussion. So we have to divide the class into three groups. You can already see I have already generated a Excel file. You can see I have made I have got the SR numbers 1 to 7 three times. So quickly note down the name of your group members over here.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, please repeat the steps.
You may go down to the shade folder, batch B. You will have group discussion tab. Within the group discussion tab, now you can see an Excel sheet. Now what you are supposed to do is we are supposed to divide the class into three groups. There are 21 students. So each group will have 7 students. You just have to write the name of your group members, the 7 people who will be in your group. The order of the group does not matter, just the name of the student. Right? So I'm giving you 5 minutes of time to note down the names of the people who will be in your group. Just few more minutes to form the group. I see most of us have already formed a group, but a few spaces still empty. So a few more minutes for it. I hope now we are done with the group discussion. Making the groups. I can see group 1 is completed. Group 2 and 3 have still some spaces. Maybe if these people are absent, you can always write their names after taking the consent. Now, what we are actually supposed to do in the next lab session, remember, not right now, in the next lab session, each group, we are going to give two topics. For each group, there will be two topics assigned, and you are supposed to do a group discussion. Remember, I said that every group discussion has a structure of the topic to be given. You have a thinking time, then you have the execution time. Now in our case, what we are doing is I'm giving you the topics in advance. I'm giving you the topics 1 week in advance. Remember, we'll be practicing on the spot topics as well. Remember, we'll be practicing on the spot topics as well. But right now, in the initial stage, what I'm doing is I'm giving you two topics in advance. So when we come back and we attend our next lab session, you will not be given time to think, because you have already been given 1 week's time to think. So you have to think and prepare what you want to speak related to the topic. We'll direct begin with the 15 to 20 minute of execution. While one group is executing, the members of the other groups, remember feedback, you have to give a feedback. So one of the persons, any one representative from the group will give a feedback to the other group. So if group 1 is presenting, one member from group 2 has to give a feedback, one member from group 3 has to give a feedback, and I will be giving a feedback. Right? This will happen in rotation basis. Now when group 2 is performing, the same member who has given feedback to group 1 from group number 3 cannot give the feedback. So everybody will will be given a chance to give a feedback. Now quickly note down your topics. Each groups, I'll change the slide which has the topic. So for group 1, 2 and 3, this is topic 1 for GD. You remember I have already drawn two columns, topic 1 and topic 2. So group 1, your topic is coronavirus impact on global economy. Impact on global economy. Group 2, your topic is COVID-19, how India fared in fighting coronavirus compared to developed countries. And group number 3 is social distancing, the new world order. Not only note down it in your books, but also note down in our Excel sheet that we have shared. Make a note of this first topic. Please note down your first topic against topic number 1 column in our Excel sheet as well, so that if you misplace the paper on which you have written the topic, you may always refer back to technology. You may always refer back to this technology which we have.
હાલો મેમ.
Yes.
મેમ આ ગ્રુપમાં બધા નામ ચેન્જ કરી નાખે છે. મેં પેલા ગ્રુપ 1 માં હતો, પછી એમાંથી કોકે ચેન્જ કરી નાખ્યું, પછી મેં ક્યાંય લખ્યું જ નથી નામ. તો અત્યારે ગ્રુપ 2 ને ગ્રુપ 3 માં બેયમાં કોકે મારું નામ લખી નાખ્યું.
તમારે કયા ગ્રુપમાં રહેવું છે?
મને તો ગમે ઈ ગ્રુપમાં હાલશે, પણ આ બબે ત્રણ ગ્રુપમાં એકાર નામ બોલે છે, કોક ચેન્જ કરી નાખે છે નામ. મેમ
See, class, a request. Why we are doing it in this way?
મેમ
Yes, Anjan.
ના મેમ, હું
મેમ
નથી
મારું
બોલતો.
નામ પણ કોકે કાઢી નાખ્યું.
Okay.
Bye.
Yes, class. Yes. See, we are doing it in a democratic system so that તમને જે પ્રેક્ટિસ મળે છે, if you are doing this practice in a group of known people, it will be easier for you to transit when you go into a group of unknown people. Please behave properly. I know it's a tough time that is going on for you as well and for me as well. Now this, you are as new to technology as I am on the learning and teaching part. Okay, why we are trying to do it? We are trying to do it in such a way so that we ease the phase that we are going through. Fine. So if you keep on changing people's names, that is not a good practice. Then in that case, what will happen is I'll have to divide the groups and I'll work the way I want to do it. I hope you understand. Then in that case, you will not get a choice. Then what I'll do is I'll say that first 7 roll numbers, then the next 7, and then the next 7. Right? Because you have a choice, do not misuse that choice. Right? Please do not misuse that choice. In case you want to increase the number of members, somebody tells me, madam, one person is more or one person is less in our group, you please let me know beforehand. I always say that we can have more than 5 members in a group to discuss, not less than that. So 5 is a minimum number that we want, right? But 10 is the maximum number which we can have. Why 7? Because there are 21 people and we can equally divide the uh, people in our group. That's the reason 7, right? Please, I request you not to do such things again. So if your name is repeated in any of the groups twice, what you can do is you can keep your name at any one place of your choice and work on it. And I request you not to change the names, otherwise next time you'll not be given a choice. Okay, now I hope you have marked and noted topic 1. I also give you topic number 2 for group discussion. So for group 1, the topic is Make in India. Group 2, should national anthem be played in cinema halls? And group number 3 is online education, the new normal. Right? All the 3 groups, you are requested to note down these 3 topics. All the three groups, you are supposed to note down this topic number 2 as well for your group discussion. So for both the topics, you need to be prepared. In the very next session, we have a 120-minute session. A lab session is of 120 minutes. So we can have two group discussions per group in 120 minutes is how I have calculated and worked on it. Right. So remember, uh, you have to prepare for both. Don't tell me that you don't remember. You have to do it for both of them.
મેમ
Yes.
મેમ ફર્સ્ટ ગ્રુપમાં સાઇઝ ઇન્ક્રીઝ થઈ શકશે? હું ફર્સ્ટ ગ્રુપમાં શિફ્ટ થવા માંગુ.
You want to become 8 members in first group?
યસ મેમ.
No problem. So group number 2 would be of 6 members and group one would be of 8 members. What you do is, let me do it for you. I'll insert a row.
ઓકે મેમ.
Okay. You write your name over there. You are
યસ
Anjan,
મેમ.
right?
યસ.
Yeah. So from here you are
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
fine. I hope you have taken a note of your topics, and remember both the topics are to be discussed in the next session. I hope do not we do not have any questions and queries for the theory portion in group discussion. We don't have any questions, do we? Do we have any questions and queries as of now? Fine. If we don't have, yeah, do we have a query?
Ma'am,
Yes.
હું સેકન્ડ ગ્રુપમાં શિફ્ટ થવા માંગુ છું.
You want to shift to group 2?
Yeah.
Yes, please shift yourself.
Okay.
So this would be 7, 8. These are 7, and then you have 6 members in group 3. No problem. That's fine. Right. Other than that, no problem, right? Fine. Then we will shift to our ritual of taking a quiz for this session. So there you go. You have the quiz link in the chat box. You can start attempting your quiz now. I see almost everybody has attempted the quiz. So now it's time for our attendance time. So enrollment number 47. Nine, 50, 51, Ramesh was there, 51, 53, 54, 56. Yes, I've marked 51 as present. 56 is there, 58,
Yes, ma'am.
65, 67, 68, 69,
Present, ma'am.
72, 73, 82, 85, 89, 91, 96,
Present, ma'am.
100, 101. Okay, so everybody is present for today. Excellent.